Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
If you don't like me, but you keep watching my shit, you're still a fan. I can't even begin to explain how many individuals I have on my social media right now talking shit about my message, about me, about how I look, about the individuals I surround myself with who don't follow me, don't like me, and don't actually want to see me succeed. But you still here, homie, so you still a fucking fan. And if you just took your focus off of me, off of my life, my accomplishments, my daily tasks, you would probably already be successful.
Three places that you can stay for absolutely free. 3 of them. You ain't got to pay a doggone thing. Hear me. Understand that you can stay out my face for free. You can stay out my business for free. And you can stay out my way for free. Those things won't cost you a doggone thing. 3 places you can stay for absolutely free. Thank you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you guys are making it through the week with ease. I know as we are coming up to Christmas, many of you guys are juggling the work life, the home life, and the gift life, right? You guys are probably just running yourselves ragged, trying to find places to hide the presents, while you got the little pitter patters of feet running around trying to figure out what they got for Christmas. So I hope everyone's doing well. This is an old lady, the first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty and chat. I'm not going to really go through, the laundry list of everybody here. So just good morning. If you're here for the first time, I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is the Bullhorn Betty channel, and this is the Coffee Club segment of the Bullhorn Betty channel. What does that mean? Doesn't mean a whole lot. It just means a bunch of crazy folks that wake up in the morning and drink a crap load of coffee as we talk about true crime, right? We talk about true crime and other things. So today's a great day. We were feeling, like Quentin was getting justice, but barely, I guess is the way we can kind of express that. Quentin was a 20-month-old child that lost his life. He was reported missing on October 5th. Dolly, Vision, and I got into town. I got there on October 5th. October 5th. Sorry, I'm pushing this along, aren't I? October 5th, we got into town October 11th and October 12th, respectively. And as soon as we pretty much picked up Dolly from the airport, we were having press conference notifications that there was going to be a press conference. And the press conference was going to be about Quentin Simon. We learned at that press conference that Leilani Simon was the only person named as a suspect in this case. Mind you, we went out there with missing person flyers. We knew something was not right. I mean, that's the whole reason why I went out there, is because I already knew before I left here something wasn't right with the daughter's statements. I knew that Billy Joe was out of town. But it wasn't until I got into town that I realized that Leilani was targeting this specific child, that Billy Joe had custody of this child, specifically taking these children away from their mother. So you can imagine my surprise when I get into town and find out why in the world these kids were even in the custody of their mother, when their mother had been, this has been well documented throughout the court records that Leilani was abusive and using drugs in front of these children. And again, 24 hours, literally 24 hours with our feet on the ground out there in Chatham County, we knew that this was going to be ultimately what the findings would be if they found Quentin Simon. It's kind of crazy because when we got there, we were not expecting to have a named suspect still sitting outside of the jail cell. And it adds insult to injury. While I thank the law enforcement officers and agencies that worked hard to bring Quentin Simon home, a lot of the nonsense that went on was a direct result of the lack of leadership in that county. We heard later from No Charge Hadley, as I like to call him, even though that they're giving him a nice little, they're blowing smoke up his own little boot behind. Okay. This whole pat on the back, you've done a great job. Yeah, you did a great job. I mean, I'm not disputing the work that your employees did under your leadership. My problem is you don't sit there and have a case built and have enough information to arrest somebody without the body and let them live outside of the house to drink, party, and have a good time while you look for a body when you had more than enough evidence to arrest her without it. It's unnerving. And to name a suspect that early on and have no interest in arresting that person, that was a horrible, horrible mistake and oversight on the part of Chatham County Police Department. Again, lack of leadership. Law enforcement handles things certain ways because it's the right way to handle things. You don't name somebody a suspect and say, oh, by the way, it'll take us a month or so before we arrest her, But we know she killed her son. We know she killed her son and threw him away like garbage in a landfill. But we may or may not be able to find him. But don't worry, guys. We're just going to take off the weekends. No big deal. Just the weekends. We're not going to work during the weekends. We're not going to do this. Like, I've never in my life ever seen anything so crazy. We don't take weekends off when a 20-month-old is in a landfill. We just do not do that. We work around the clock. We figure out how to keep the rhythm going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until he's found. But I digress. That's just my personal take on it. Upset that law enforcement chose not to charge her with more, but you know, again, the DA obviously has picked up this case, has taken it to a grand jury, and now has indicted Leilani on 19 counts. And we're going to go over those counts. I know that this story was breaking yesterday. I had all the information well early on when this was going, when this was breaking. I chose not to go online yesterday. And quite frankly, for those that are in here, I don't know if I'm going to be back on for, you know, the next week or so. I need to take a much needed vacation. As you guys can imagine, I've been working around the clock for the last year. And, you know, it's Christmas time. Many of you guys know that my family has other things going on and I want to get away. So I'm just going to pack up a bag and I don't even know where I'm going yet. So that's where I'm going. And I may or may not go live while I'm on this vacation, this Christmas vacation, which again, I feel like I've earned. I've worked my tail off. So you guys may see me here and there. You may not. But I've just kind of made the decision that I need to pull the trigger and do something, because sitting around this Christmas holiday is definitely not something that's on my wish list. All right. So anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out there. I probably will be live tomorrow, but after tomorrow, I'm probably done. I'm done for another week. I'm actually considering buying a burner phone and leaving the cell phone here at the house. That's how serious I am about unplugging. I don't want to go on the roads without having some kind of, you know, phones in case of an emergency, but I'm actually considering buying a burner phone and leaving the phone and the computer home. So we'll see if I have enough enough willpower to be able to put the electronics down. I probably won't, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm probably going to miss you guys immensely, and we'll have to pop back on here once in a while. But anyways, that's not what we're here for, right? We're not here to talk about me and my Christmas, right? Bah humbug. But I did want to, we are going to go over this news article, this press conference that the DA did yesterday. We're going to watch it. And we're also going to go over the actual indictment and have a conversation about that. I'm going to open up the panel. You guys can come up here. I keep the phones off here lately because of the jellyfish around YouTube that don't have brains. And, you know, they like to, they see a number and they like to dial it. So I have a little more control with people on panel because a lot of the people that cause problems here are already banned from StreamYard. So it makes it harder for them to come on here and without, you know, whatever. So long story short, we like the panel. I use it like a phone system. I don't really put you guys up on the screen because I know there's a lot of shy people out there, and I prefer just having you guys give your perspective than actually debut on Bullhorn Betty channel, which I know many of you guys don't want to do. So we will keep the panel up, but it will only be my face. And you guys can talk about how this makes you feel. I know that a lot of people have a lot of mixed emotions about this. You know, a lot of people, they acted like Dolly and I, had no clue what we were doing and what we were talking about, that we did not have this information. We did. Our biggest concern was them leaving Quentin out there in that landfill where they couldn't make this case, because we knew the kind of woman Leilani was. We knew that literally. And if you guys remember, I mean, I can show you, I went weeks without doing or saying anything, just reporting outside of that house, weeks. You know, where if I saw them, I just asked them questions like, where's Quentin Simon? You know, why aren't you looking for him? Why is there no flyers in the community? And I was, you know, berated for asking those simple questions. and called awful and nasty names for simply asking, why is nobody looking for Quentin Simon? And that really, that interaction at the very beginning of this case is the interaction that made me know that not only was Leilani responsible, but everybody in the house knew. Period. Even Billy Joe. And whether Billy Joe meant for this to happen, whether she actually thought her daughter could kill, one of her grandchildren, that doesn't matter. She knew that this girl was violent to these children. She knew that this girl would do drugs in front of these children. And that was an acceptable risk that Billy Joe was willing to take. And she failed. And her grandson is dead because of that risk she was willing to take. And she's been sitting out here on YouTube talking about things she should not be talking about. She's been out here on YouTube saying she's going to get the boys back, even with the gag order saying that they can't even bring up their names. She's in there in the courtroom being disrespectful to the judge. And don't tell me she's not, because what judge holds a person in contempt for 10 days for having an earpiece in their ear? I'm sorry, that's unheard of. It's unheard of. There was more going on than what's being told to you. I guarantee that. Okay? She was clearly not listening to the judge. She was clearly being combative with the judge. Well, I don't have to be in that courtroom to know what transpired because I know how judges act. And judges, you get contempt, you usually get a fee, a fine. They are putting Billy Joe in jail for 10 days. 10 days. For a contempt of court. Trust me, this is not just having an earpiece in your ear. This is being told consistently not to do something and you willfully doing what a judge has told you not to do. That's how you wind your ass up in jail for 10 days on a contempt of court charge. Okay? Let's be real here. This is not something where she just, oh, I'm sorry, I put an earpiece in my ear and I didn't realize it and I got this phone past the... in our courts here, we're allowed to have our cell phones in the courtroom. We're allowed to have our cell phones in the courtroom here. So each state's got to be different. And like at Hawkins County, you can't even walk in with an electronic device. You have to keep the electronic device in your car. Here, you can walk in with it. But when the judge tells you you can't record in that courtroom, you bet your ass you better not be recording in that courtroom. That's a good way to get yourself a contempt of court charge. Right? And 10 days behind the slammer, right? So I just really believe that there is a lot more going on with that whole thing of Billy Joe being in jail than what people are telling you, because I'm sorry, of all people, I've been in courtrooms. I've prepared cases. I've prepared for trial for the attorneys that I've worked for. I have done that. And I've worked with a lot of judges and have promoted a lot of judges by way of advocating for them when they're trying to become judges, right? Going and door knocking for these individuals to get them elected to be judges of our county. So I know a lot of judges here in Manatee County, and I can tell you they don't just throw people in jail for contempt of court. And if it's a minor contempt of court charge, they usually just blow it off. But, in normal contempt, you get a fine. So you're in contempt, you get a $500,000 fine, you pay your fine, you leave. This is one of those things where there is no fine. She's in jail for 10 days. This is not somebody that just accidentally wore an earbud into court. Judges don't do that. Okay, this is something more significant for a judge to throw somebody in jail for contempt of court, and not only that, but give them zero bond for 10 days. That is a little bit more extensive than, oh, oops, I put an earbud in my ear and forgot about it. Okay, let me just put this in perspective. I don't care what you're hearing. I don't need to be in the court. I don't need to know the specificity of why she got contempt of court charges. I'm just telling you what we're hearing on the internet does not rise to the level of somebody getting contempt charges and being locked away for 10 solid days. Okay? Something more happened. Period. Yeah, it's at the judge's discretion, but no judge is going to do 10 days without just cause. I mean, an earbud, that's not just cause to have, you accidentally have an earbud. Something else went on. something that the judge found completely appalling happened. Okay, I'm just telling you. So it's either her, you know, talking back to the judge, but not just talking back. People talk back to the judge all the time. Judges get frustrated. I get it. Okay. But that, again, people do it all the time. You don't see them going into the slammer for 10 days for talking back to a judge. She broke a gag order. That is a good way to get yourself in contempt. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if it really is because she violated the gag order, she can thank Cher for that. Our lovely friend Cher, right? The one that likes to see me get beat up and thrown in jail, right? The one that looked like she was going to be changing for the better, but is right back in the same gutter that she pulled herself out of. That person, yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, thank you, Cher, right? We know that however it went down, it was for something to do with social media, because this lady doesn't quite get it. She's too busy smoking her crack pipe to see the bigger picture. All right, so enough with me. Let's get on with it.
And I'm Dawn Baker. Just hours ago, we learned the charges being brought down against Leilani Simon by the Chatham County District Attorney in the death of that little boy. WTOC's Alyssa Jackson was at the DA's news conference this afternoon.
She joins us now live in front of the Chatham County Courthouse. Alyssa, what happened at that press conference?
Hey guys, well, you know, we are learning more
about the press conference.
About and see what could have happened to Quentin. Now we know that she said that this case is of grave importance to her office, and they won't be answering a lot of questions because there's.
That was the worst interview right there that I have ever seen. You know, and I know Shay is a younger journalist, and she reminded me a lot of my little sister, to be honest with you. But for her to have such a groundbreaking interview in her career, such as this one that's garnered national and worldwide attention, you would think that she would ask the pertinent questions such as, did you kill your son? And I thought that by failing to ask her that question, she failed this interview in its entirety. That's how I feel.
There's a lot of evidence that's going to be coming out, but they don't want to reveal any underlying circumstances or facts. She told us.
And I want you to look at that. I want you to go back and look at this lady's face.
There's a lot of evidence
right
that's going to be.
Her face. Her face. Everybody out there, you know, you either loved the work we did or you didn't love the work we did. The bottom line is we tried to express to our audience that this girl here, I targeted Quentin Simon, targeted him. We tried to tell our audience that she abused that child regularly, that he had been abused and watched his mother and God knows what else go on inside that home. We tried to express that to our audience. Everybody under the sun wanted to believe in the good of this girl right here. I'm sorry. These two ladies are evil. These two ladies that you see on your screen right now are pure evil. Pure evil. The one on your left, Grandma, Billy Joe, Howell, Billy Jaw, Billy Jawbone, as Dolly Vision would like to call her, has raised two murderers. And I guarantee Paul helped clean up somehow. I really do believe that. If you guys are just tuning in, we have almost 1,000 people in the chat right now. Please consider going out and giving me a like. If you guys have not noticed, we are streaming to this morning on Twitter as well as Twitch. So if you guys have accounts on either Twitter or Twitch, please consider going and subbing up to Bullhorn Betty. We do go through these cases. We put boots on the ground. And in both of the cases that we are going to be covering today, which is Leilani Simon, Quentin Simon's case, and the Idaho 4, Bullhorn Betty has been at both of these locations physically and personally to find out the information about these cases so you guys have the most up-to-date information available to the public. We worked our rear ends off on this case. Again, this woman here, we knew what she had done to that child. We knew. I didn't know if she beat him, suffocated him, or he drowned, but I knew it was something bad. And I knew right off the rip that it wasn't drowning. People started bringing up this whole drowning theory. You know, early on, like the middle of October, we started hearing about the potential of this child drowning. And I kept saying, because they're like, well, the child's been in the pool many times unattended. Yeah, and that child survived being in the pool many times unattended. Why this day would this child all of a sudden drown? I mean, that's the way I look at things. I may not look at things the right way all the time, but that's how I look at things. You're right. This child has been in this pool 1,000 times unattended. And 1,000 times that child's come out of that pool unharmed. So why this day? So I didn't believe the whole drowning theory. I didn't believe the whole drowning theory because she's had this child for 20 months. This child has not drowned in the pool or the tub so far, right? But we did hear about her violence toward this child. And so it did make the link that this woman here harmed this child so much so that this child lost his life. And that is what we are finding out today.
Be coming out, but they don't want to reveal any underlying circumstances or facts. She told us they want to make sure that this case is solid. That means that they are trying to not keep it. They're trying to keep it in the public eye, but they're not trying to hide anything. That just means that they're trying to make sure that all of the evidence stays where it needs to be. And she told us just maybe about an hour ago what their office is trying to do to make sure that happens.
Not revealing this evidence also ensures that the criminal proceeding remain fair, just, untainted, and that this case is not tried in the court of public opinion.
I hate to tell you, lady, every criminal case is tried in the court of public opinion, whether you guys are successful or not successful. And a good example of that is Casey Anthony, right? When our judicial system was unsuccessful in getting the charge to stick, guess what? Who's serving that punishment to this day for Casey Anthony? You're right, that court of public opinion.
In a court of law.
Now, she also said if this case goes to trial, she wants it heard from jurors in this community, from this community.
You know what? And I always hear that. Oh, we want to keep this away from the public so we can have it tried here in this county. And you know what? No matter what, this is a high-profile case. They're going to go in there for change of venue. That's what the defense attorney is going to do, and he's most likely going to get it. Why? Because this has national news. Okay, so this idea that they're doing this because of some way to keep this in their community, I'm very doubtful, but we'll see, right? We'll see. This will be playing out in the public eye here in the near future, and they can only keep the information away from us for so long. That's all there is to it. You know, Chatham County is, in my opinion, this is the reason why we have public hearings is because it is required for the public to be knowledgeable of the crimes that we're paying to put people away to jail for, right? They can't just keep this away from us and have a covert criminal proceeding without the public being involved. It's against the law. So we know for a fact that this case is going to come out. They're playing word salad with the public, in my opinion. Yes, there is an ongoing investigation, and while that investigation is ongoing, they need to keep the integrity of that investigation. But how long are they going to drag this investigation out just to keep it out of the public eye? You know, and that's the problem I'm having with Chatham County. The skirting of the law that is consistent throughout the county. Consistent throughout the county. That's not how we run counties, is by skirting the law and using loopholes. But whatever. So let's go over to the indictment aspect of this. Where is the indictment? Good question. I pulled it up. There it is. There it is. Okay, we got it. Okay, so here it is. Let me pull this out because I got to back all this stuff out and share my screen again because I've got to figure out a new system. Okay, so here is, let me pull it up. Sorry, I didn't attach it yet. There we go. So here is the indictment here, okay? And then we're just going to go through it. The malice murder charge in the name of, in behalf of the citizens of Georgia, the state of Georgia, charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of malice murder for that said Leilani Simon in the county of Chatham in the state of Georgia on or before the 5th day of October 2022 did unlawfully with malice aforethought cause the death of her son, Quentin Simon, a human being in the manner unknown to the grand jury at this time, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order and peace and dignity thereof. So they're saying that she killed this, the manner of which is unknown at this time. Felony murder, count 2. And the jurors aforesaid in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of felony murder. For that the said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham in the state of Georgia or about the 5th day of October 2022 did commit the offense of aggravated assault in violation of OCGA 16-5-21, a felony in that the accused did make an assault upon the person of her son, or of the person of her son, Quentin Simon, with an object that was used offensively against a person that did result in serious bodily injury, the nature of the object being unknown to the grand jury at this time, and the accused did, in the commission of this offense, cause Quentin's death, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Felony murder. So she's got a second count of felony murder. So this is count 3 in total. The jurors aforesaid in the name of and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia further charge Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of felony murder. For that said, Leilani Simon in the Chatham County, county of Chatham in state of Georgia, on or about the 5th day of October 2022, did commit the offense of cruelty to a child in the first degree, a violation. So she's got, abuse and now cruelty to a child, and that's based off OCGA 16-5-70. Which did result in the death of her son. Count 4 is concealing the death of another, obviously concealing the death that she caused of her son, throwing him away like garbage. And then she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 15 charges of making false statements to law enforcement. The first one was knowingly and willingly falsely reporting a crime to the Chatham County Police Department. So I think that was the, yes, this was related to the abduction of an unknown intruder. So that is count 5, count 6. I see here is having admitted that she left her home. So it says in the manner with jurisdiction of Chatham County, a department of the government of this county to investigate by having admitted that she had left her home in the late night hours of October 4th to meet her drug dealer, falsely stating the purpose of her meeting was to pay existing drug debts. So she lied to them about why she left the home. That was one time as to why she left the home. She also further made statements falsely stating that the only controlled substance that she utilized was regularly was marijuana. We know that she utilized a lot harsher drugs than that. So she lied to them and made a false statement about that. So she's getting charged with failing to or lying to the law enforcement about the drugs she's using. Count 8. She made false statements. What controlled substance she had used in the past 24 hours She basically stated the only thing she used was marijuana. We know that that is untrue. Count 9, this was falsely stating her purpose. This is another reason why she stated she had to leave the house early morning hours, was to get Oragel from her friend Misty, and that was proved to be a lie. Count 10, she also, again, this is the third statement she made related to why she had to leave and go to Azalea Trailer Park, and they found that statement to also be a lie. Count 11 was that she admitted leaving so this is another one. She was, so they're hitting her with several different charges for several of the stories that she told. This is back to the drug dealer for count 11, basically stating that she left her home to meet her drug dealer, stating the purpose of meeting was to pay the existing drug debt. So they've already stated that earlier in another count. I don't know if that was an accidental duplicate or if there was some language in there that was slightly altered in that particular count. She used controlled substances, so now they're charging her because she failed again to acknowledge that she was there for controlled substances. So it looks like they're charging her with 4 different false statements and 2 charges for each of those false statements. And I'm sure there's other ones in here that have to do with other things, but it's all about her lying that morning about where she was. She was going to meet her drug dealer, going to pay a drug debt, going to meet a friend to get some Oragel, going to drop some stuff off, but 15 charges. So this is going to be a short live. We got another live coming on at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but I do want to get your insight and your opinion on these. Oh, and here's another one. This is count 18, and it says, falsely stating that it was not the accused, but rather Danny Youngkin, who had traveled from home the early hours. So she even lied, saying that Danny was the one that was traveling those early hours and trying to throw him under the bus. And then she was upset that he decides to leave the home 4 days after this all goes on. I'm sorry. I said it from the very beginning. You know, whether he knew that she was abusing these children or not, it's one thing knowing that you're abusing your child. It's a complete another laying in the same bed with somebody that just murdered a child. And I'm sorry, but I would have hit the road. I don't even know if I would have been there for 4 days. He probably was there long enough to get money together to get the hell out of Dodge. That is what I presume happened. The last making false claims was related to the investigation. And it basically states here that by having once again admitted that she, not Danny, had left the home in the early morning hours of October 5th and traveled to the Azalea Mobile Home Plaza, and having admitted that she had no contact there with her friend Misty, falsely stating that she did not remember what she had done there contrary to the state of law. So she kept lying. And then she ultimately said, you know, I don't know why I was there. You know, I didn't go there. It was Danny. I had to leave because I had a drug debt. I had to leave because I had to go meet my drug dealer. I had to leave to go get Oragel from Misty. So these are all the things that were coming out of her mouth in and around the time of the investigation. And so it was lie after lie after lie. So now we're even getting a clearer picture of the information and the evidence that law enforcement had against her. And again, very, very frustrating that it took them well over a month to arrest her. She didn't get arrested until what, November 21st? And they knew by October 12th. So over a month to arrest a woman that has abused these children for years, and you couldn't find one thing, and on double probation, and could not find one thing to get her off the streets. But they're angry with the citizens that came out in support of this baby and to denounce this kind of behavior from their police chief. But you know what? All news organization wanted to, I'll keep my opinions to myself, but they had all the information that they needed to arrest this girl, and they let her run the streets. And she could have hurt somebody else. Let's be honest. She could have hurt somebody else. And it's very upsetting to me that she could have hurt somebody else and they did not care. They put their community in jeopardy. Oh, it's just her kid. Do you realize it's harder to kill your own kid than somebody else's? Like, you don't have the love for somebody else's child like you should have for your own. I just don't get it. But there you go. Very good day today. You know, we're happy that Leilani, not just Leilani, but Billy Joe, both of them are behind bars today, guys. Both of them are literally sitting in jail cells right now. It's a good day. It is a good day. Today is a good day. The Thursday right before Christmas is a good day. Now we hear Billy Joe will be out in time for Christmas, which I find appalling. I wish she was behind bars for Christmas. But I'm a woman that takes a win when you get a win. And at the end of the day, Billy Joe is behind bars. Leilani is behind bars. And Quentin is out of that landfill. You can't get any better news than that. And even if she's not charged, even if she's not convicted of contempt of court, it's still a win. She still had to sit her ass in jail. She still had to be sober in her thoughts and in her life. While she's in jail, she can't, what she's been doing is using these drugs and alcohol to hide and cover and mask the pain of her losing her grandson, which she is responsible for. You can't take the responsibility away from the person that had the rights to those children to protect them, and that was Billy Joe, not Leilani. Courts had already deemed Leilani unfit to provide that care for those kids. So, again, she's still there, and she still has to sober up, and she still has to think of Quentin, and she still has to think of her murderous son, and she still has to think of her murderous daughter, and she still has to think of how many ways from here to Sunday, she has screwed everybody's life up in her household, how she has failed as a mother, how she has failed as a grandmother, how she has failed as a human being on this planet, how she has failed is what she gets to listen to in and out of her brain. You can't stop that, because I can tell you can only play cards at those tables for so long. And I can guarantee you anybody in there that cares for their child and would love for somebody to take care of their child is in there knowing that this woman had an opportunity to protect her grandson and failed. So it doesn't really matter if she doesn't get charged with this contempt of court, if she's not she's not held accountable for this attempt of court. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. It really wouldn't, not with this county. But she's behind bars. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a check in the win column. That is a check in the win column. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. Again, this is going to be a short live today. This morning, if you guys have not noticed, I've already got another live set up today at 3 p.m. This afternoon to go over the Idaho 4 and some of the information that we're finding out here behind the scenes. I hope you guys do decide to come and attend that preview as well. We will most likely be live on Christmas Day. So all you people out there that is lonely for Christmas, I am too. So we're going to hang out together on Christmas Day so we don't have to be lonely together. You know, we can all do our part and make sure that we uplift each other all throughout the year, even on the days when people don't think that anybody cares. We care. And we're going to be here for Christmas Day. We're going to probably go live literally all day. I may need to shut one live down, take a break for an hour or so, and then pull up another live. But we're going to be live all day on Christmas Day, just hanging out with each other, sharing some stories, sharing some memories, and making sure we're not lonely, right? So that's really what it's all about, is making sure that the Christmas spirit is spread far and wide. So if you're lonely on Christmas Day, you're not going to be for long. So go ahead and set your calendar. Christmas Day, you get to hang out with Bullhorn Betty. So we can't forget the other grandchildren who don't understand what is happening right now. That is a good point, Mad Chatter. Says that, happening right now, especially at the holidays. I hope they're someplace where they have some peace and a nice, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're going to be spoiled rotten. They deserve to be spoiled rotten. Again, we hear about Zane not being able to talk, and I keep wondering, is that a brain injury? I'm sorry, I can't help keep going back there. And to think of poor little Sky, only 4 months old, God knows what that little baby went through. We don't know. We don't know what she has done to those children when no one was looking, not even her mother. And that is a very terrifying thought for me. Very terrifying. So here is the StreamYard link. Like I said, if you guys want to come up here and talk about this, we can. If not, I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock will be much longer than this morning. I'm still doing a lot of work behind the scenes here, getting a lot of information. And I still have to, release some of this stuff too. But let me see something here. Hold on a second, guys. I've got... Maybe we should just go back and go through some videos that we did of Quentin Simon. Not everything that we've done out there I've even released, because right after Kylie Rodney was Quentin Simon, right after Quentin Simon was, the Idaho 4 and Michael Monkey Vaughn. So Mama Bullhorn is in the house. What is shaking Mama Bullhorn?
I'm trying to mute you. I have you running on like 3 items. Good morning, baby. How are you?
Oh, thank you, Pam. God bless you. She says $49.99 super sticker. Thank you. Super chat. Love you, Betty Bullhorn Betty. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Pam. Merry Christmas to you. So how's Mama Bullhorn doing today?
I'm doing fine. It's getting ready to come a big storm. I've already had, I have insomnia. So I've been up since it was 2:59. I was up like a bolt of lightning. And then I dozed off. I dozed off at a little before 7. That's why I'm late. But I think you've done an excellent job. You and Heels on the Ground. Justin, I love you, dear.
Mama Bullhorn. Justice for All has a fan with Mama Bullhorn. Oh, that's so
I
cute.
stayed up. I watched the live last night.
Did you see me on there?
Yes. I waited till you were all done.
Aww.
But this shindig, I'm gonna say it's a shindig, because they turned it into a freaking shindig.
I know.
It's like, what the? We all knew. We all knew.
Yeah.
Even the entire community knew what was going on there, and all the lies, pants on fire. There's nothing they can hide from now, because I think the coroner, not the coroner, the medical examiner found evidence, probably in the few bones that they did find, that there were breaks, that there were bruises on the bones, you name it.
And you know what? That's what I said. I said, even if they can't determine the cause of death for this child right now, they're going to definitely be able to see, because we found out that she abused this child like she did, we knew that that this child had been beat. I knew for a fact, and I said it on my lives, if you remember, that they're probably going to find that this child had prior injuries, prior breaks.
Yes.
Because of the way we were hearing this child was thrown around like a rag doll.
Well, again, think about this. Alphabet Soup probably took the other 2 children and had medical exams and found injuries on them, especially Zane. I'm sure, if you remember the picture of him with the 2 black eyes, I'm sure they found, healed fractures and stuff on him. So that's all going into it. And the fact that they finally arrested Billy Joe, they've put her in jail because something's coming down the pipe. I know something's coming down the pipeline.
There were some people that did say that they felt that, there was something strategic almost about how Billy Joe went to jail and then they come out with this mind-blowing 19-count indictment.
Right. I watched Jimmy last night, and he had the videotape of he played the videotape of the state's attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And she did have a wicked face. Like, she is out for blood, and she's got more than anyone will ever know as far as evidence. I can't imagine how long this trial will go. I can't imagine how long, because the Johnny Depp and what's her name, Heath, that was 28 weeks. And that was just a
defamation suit.
That was a circus.
Yes.
And I just, the cop, not the cop, the father who killed his family in Orlando, that trial almost became a circus because he never admitted.
Anthony Tott is the name.
Yeah. He never admitted to anything. And I got a feeling this is what's going to happen to, she's going to do a Casey Anthony. I swear to God. Now, if Baez shows up as an attorney, she's going to do the Casey Anthony thing. But I'm sorry, I have drainage.
Okay, hold on, Mom. I just want to throw a shout out. Jesse Pooh, thank you for the lovely super sticker. God bless you. Mad Chatter says, thank you for reading and responding to my messages, Betty. I appreciate your chat in this morning's show. Oh, nice to have you, Mad Chatter. I appreciate it. Thank you, and God bless you. And then we have Jesse Pooh. Merry Christmas, Betty, from me and my mom. Oh, thank you. We'll tell your mom hello from my family to yours. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. As Andrea said yesterday, I've been traveling. I'm always finding something to do. I still have paint in my hair. I noticed that yesterday when I was combing it. But I spent a couple of days with my grandson. And of course, when you come home, the first thing I told your stepdad was, oh, I miss hearing his voice. I miss him. I miss him so much. Because it's like he's instantly my little shadow. He did not know I was going down. And he came to the door and he couldn't believe what he saw. It was Nana, Nana. And I become he becomes my little shadow.
Yeah.
Nana, sit here. Sit next to me. Nana. Oh.
Yeah, and, he's definitely a cutie pie. Definitely a cutie pie.
And, I'm going again. I'm catching a plane on Saturday.
You're starting to have the lifestyle of Bullhorn Betty. What's up with that?
But I was thinking about just buying you a ticket and letting you go, but I couldn't.
I'd like to have my wheels. If I go, I'll drive. If I go, I'll drive. But I'm probably going to be here. I'm going to probably this week. I'm not sure what state I'm going to go to, but I already told you about my ideas and what I was planning on doing. So.
Yeah.
I just think I just need a break and a pretty scene and just shake off the funk of 2022.
I'm 67, and this will be the first Christmas that we don't get together.
I know.
Here. This will be.
Well, we technically did get together. It's just way early in advance.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah.
No decorations were up. This is the first tree ever. I haven't put up a tree.
I know. I didn't go out to the barn and get not even one Santa, not one stick of anything. I really didn't. I had something festive somewhere around this house. I just need to throw it out. I think it's like a Santa that I forgot to pack in a box. I need to sit it out in the living room so it looks like I'm somewhat festive.
You know I'm going to be decorating when I get to Louisiana. So
Oh, of course, of course.
And she started decorating, but she did minimal stuff. But
come on, she's a little sis. She does minimal stuff.
To-do list.
If it wasn't for you going down there, her stuff wouldn't even have gotten on the walls.
I know. Well, hear this. We bought her a little dining room suit. It's like a breakfast suit.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep asking her, you got that put together? No, Mom, you're coming. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is probably putting together a dining table and the seating. And then she says, I can't vacuum. And I go, why? She says, I sucked up a cat toy.
You haven't taught her how to unplug a vacuum cleaner yet, Mom? You're failing. No. She
doesn't want to. She said, I don't want to get that goo under my nails. I said, get some rubber gloves on, girl.
Right.
But so she's got a to-do list for me.
Yay, well, at least you'll have things to do. You won't be bored.
No, but I'm going to freeze my tushy off. They're having some really
Well, I got to be
cold
honest
weather.
with you, Mom. I have a new respect for Louisiana cold as opposed to Idaho cold.
Well, Louisiana cold is damp and windy.
Yeah. Well, Idaho cold is slushy, windy, wet, and snow.
Yeah, but it's a much drier cold. Just like,
I beg to differ, Ma. You weren't seeing cars slipping and sliding. I did really good driving. While I was out there in that slush. But there were cars that weren't, and they had Idaho plates, and you could tell they were from the area. So they just kind of like Wild Wild West out there. But I'm so unnerved. I mean, I did a beautiful driving job, by the way, but it was still, I'm having to constantly go through everything in my head because I haven't driven in snow like ever. So I'm having to remember back in, driving class, it's like pump the brakes, all this stuff is going through my head as I'm driving. The whole time I'm driving, I'm watching the car. I'm like, okay, if somebody stops, I'm making sure I got distance in front of me. I'm like, if the brakes freeze up, pump the brakes, pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes.
Don't fight the, if you start spinning out, don't fight the spin, get the car under control. Like all this stuff is just constantly going through my brain while I'm driving. It was exhausting.
Your grandfather used to tell me, first of all, you make sure you have twice the length between you and the other cars. Don't speed. Make sure you have plenty of room. And back in those days, before they had radial tires and then the invent of nitrogen, you don't have to reduce the air in your tires when it gets cold because, of course, the nitrogen shrinks, which I didn't understand that till I bought a new car. But they used to let the air out to increase the friction on the snow, that kind of thing. But we don't have to do that anymore. So you remind me of the things my dad used to say. But I saw somebody wanted to hear a story, and I can't, without bringing up bad, I can't tell any more stories without taking you through your very ugly past. So.
Yeah, people are familiar with it now. I mean, hell, they cannot not be. I mean, all the trolls and haters out there, all the jellyfish, the organisms swimming out there with no brains, decide to peel apart every aspect of somebody's life because they have a channel on YouTube. Oh my God, death-defying action over here. Woo-hoo.
Well, I'll tell a short story. Andrew was a chronic runaway, habitual runaway.
It wasn't a runaway. I just liked going out with my friends.
Yeah, well, you would go and stay with them for a week or two, and I'd never know where you were. And one night, I had because you were a chronic runaway, and I kept reporting you as a runaway, the sheriff would come to our house to see if they put you on curfew. And I was at home, and one evening you decide to bolt. Well, here comes I forget his name. He used to live behind us.
Are you talking about Oliver?
Yeah.
One that sat me down at 15 at the table.
Yes. And shook his finger at you. Yes. And I went running out the door to chase after you. And I tore my a tendon in my foot. You remember that? And I
don't
felt
know if that was me or Angela that with the tendon in the foot.
No, it was you. I was running down 60th Street.
That sounds about right. Were you chasing the car?
No, I was chasing you. You were on foot. But I fell down right in front of the cop car.
Well, that probably didn't make him happy. He was probably already tearing
No,
my
I had to
ass.
get up and hobble off the side of the road, and he went after you. He brought you home. But you didn't get away.
Can't get away with shit in Manatee County.
But yeah, you have to say we had a good life. We did.
Yeah, as far as financially, not needing or wanting nothing, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't always bad. We had a lot of good times. It's just when it was bad, it was bad.
Yes, it was bad at times. Being married to an alcoholic isn't easy.
Mm-mm.
So, but anyways, we won't go there.
It is Christmas time, you know. We still love the people out there. But in all fairness, I mean, I try not to beat up on Dad too much. In all fairness, he came from a really rocky life. He did the best he could with what he had. He definitely did 100 times better than his parents did for him. So, there's just he had a childhood trauma himself that he's never quite gotten over. So
guess what?
What?
Without him, I wouldn't have you.
See, somebody loves me, even if the haters don't. I have all the love I need.
I tell you what. Oh my goodness. And I have to tell you guys, all of my kids were born with a full head of hair, just like a doll off the shelf.
Jet black.
Jet
and
black.
It stood straight up. I had an afro.
And I had to keep a bonnet on her head.
Rough and tough with my afro.
She was born with 3-inch hair, and it stood straight up. I could not get it to lie down. And
my mom was embarrassed of my beautiful head of hair. I just want to let you guys know that. She thought I was ugly with my red dots and my afro puff.
Yeah, she had a baby rash, cradle. But anyways, I'll never forget your Uncle Bobby and your Aunt Mabel came for a visit. And we went to the mall, and it was right around Christmas time. And I had you and your sister dressed for Christmas. And
the same outfit, just different colors.
And we're in the mall, and she's pushing your stroller, and she was so happy. And believe it or not, somebody came up and said, "Oh, your baby is so beautiful." And the first thing your Aunt Mabel did was pop your bonnet off and say, "Look at that head of hair." And I'm going, "Oh."
Put it away! Put it away!
It stood straight up. Oh my goodness. But those are sweet memories.
Yeah.
Sweet memories.
Don't worry, I got a few memories of my own about you, Ma. Just remember.
I went through a rough patch, and yes, I had to call.
No, I was talking about you and what was her name? Shelly. We got some Shelly stories.
Yes. How do you get 2 flat tires on a brand new Corvette?
Put Mama Bullhorn and Shelly behind it.
I think there was somebody up.
Of course, Ma. Of course. That's what I said too.
But we did the ballet for the cop.
Yeah, I know. We got the 2 a.m. call.
Yeah.
We need you to come pick up your mother. Who is this? Manatee County Sheriff's Department. You calling me to come pick up my mother? It's usually the other way around.
Well, it's a good thing we were like a half a mile from home. But yes, those were sweet memories. I do have sweet memories and fun memories, but it was for a bad reason. So, but that I put behind me.
That makes us who we are, Mom. Makes us who we are.
All I can do is say, thank you, God. I've got 2 beautiful girls and a 3rd daughter that I am so proud of as well. But I love you. I love
you too, Mommy. Have a wonderful Christmas holiday. I'll be here live. So if you miss me on Christmas, just tune into the Bullhorn Betty channel.
Oh, I'll be on my phone. You can count on it. And I'll probably be freezing my tushy off because they have like 28 and 30-degree weather this week.
I should, by Christmas, I should be back here in Florida. Because the next day we're doing something with Marissa and Justice.
Oh. Your baby sister went storm chasing yesterday.
I heard. She told me. Maybe it was you telling me. Because that's right. It was you. I was on the phone with you, not Sis. And so my sister, she was, following the tornadoes. And my mom was telling me this and saying, Taylor's not liking it. I'm like, not liking it? Like going and chasing tornadoes? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to be asking my producer, can I drive the truck through it? Just tell me, can I drive it through it? I just want to take some Doppler radars here.
Oh.
Let me be the one. Taylor's like, it looks like, I don't know what they call them.
It was sad. It was sad in Opelousas. She went to Opelousas.
Yeah, that is, I know. She had but she has to do with the aftermath, not necessarily. Did she actually see the tornadoes or did she
No. But they called her on her day off to come in and go.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you they really like the way she does things.
Well, she's
but
I see.
She's good. Just like you, she's good at her job.
Yeah.
But it was horrific to see the destruction. And one little boy was in the house doing his homework.
I would be freaking out. Like, I don't know if I could, people are like, I can't live in hurricanes. Like hurricanes, they come and go. Like, I'm sorry, but tornadoes, they just pop up. We at least have some kind of knowledge when a hurricane's coming this way. Tornadoes can just, boom, they're there.
Yeah. But the thing about this was his mother had run out to go to the grocery store and he was doing his homework and the tornado hit and took the motorhome and flipped it upside down on top of their house with him in it.
Well, you saw that one. What was it? Was it a Ford, a Dodge, or a Chevy? I think it was a Chevy. And whatever one, like a rock. I think it's Chevy. Chevy's like a rock, right? And it was the hurricane that came. I can't remember which one it was. But anyways, this pickup truck, this tornado grabs it, flips it upside down in this, and it lands on its 4 tires. And the person ends up driving off in this car. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're hearing that and it's a Chevy. So you're hearing like the Chevy stock had to have gone through the roof after that tornado. Like, I'm absolutely dumbfounded. It's like, if you're driving a Ford or Dodge, take it back. You need a Chevy.
Well, right after the hurricane after Ian, I forget the name of it. The Siesta Key, it was beautiful weather, and there was a water spout right off Siesta Key. Well, it actually came on land, and the people just sat there. And one person got picked up and thrown down on the ground, and I'm going, are these people crazy or what?
I know. I remember the last hurricane party I had was I want to say I was 26 or 27, and I had a house full of people. And, we how it goes. We get our beer and party until wee hours of morning as the hurricane's passing and yada, yada, yada. Well, this one was making a turn for the worse. And I'm fresh out of paralegal school and everything like that. And I'm looking around and I'm hearing that this monster of a hurricane's about to hit us. I think it was Charlie. is taking a turn for the worst,
Yeah.
and it's going to be, looks like it's coming right at us. And I'm looking around at all these people thinking, oh my God, my liability. I never had another hurricane party after that.
That's what I was gonna say. You had your legal mind on.
I
Yes.
did, and I'm looking around. I'm like, everybody better bunker down.
And you couldn't send them home because
Strap
they've been
yourself
drinking too
onto the
much.
roof.
Exactly. I used to have a really good friend, and she sold jewelry. She was a lawyer, and she had kids, so she stopped practicing law when she had her kids, but she sold jewelry. I think you came to a couple of those parties.
Yeah.
And the first thing she said to me when she booked the party, no alcohol. I don't want the liability.
Right.
Oh,
It's crazy because when you get
just-
legal training, it's like your mind, no matter what you do, even loaning money to a friend, it's like, here, can you sign this for me, please?
And I'm going, what?
Can I borrow $20? Yeah, but I need your social security number, your background check, and I need you to set up automatic payments, please.
Oh, gosh, yes. Oh, yes. But anyways, I love you, baby.
I love you too, Mom.
I wanted to put a smile on your face.
Have a great day. I love you. God bless.
I love you, babe.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Mama Bullhorn, rocking it out with Baby Bullhorn. I'm always going to be a Baby Bullhorn when I'm standing next to Mama Bullhorn. I'm sorry, okay? Bullhorn Betty's just a second name, okay? It's just a second name. But anyways, yeah, it's just it was nice to break up a little bit and speak to Mama Bullhorn. That's about most of the conversation I had right there this week with my mama. You guys just experienced. That's our normal weekly conversation, y'all. Now I don't have to call Mom. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wind down this live. We'll be back here at 3. I know we'll be back here at 3 today because I've already set up the live. So as long as it's set, we'll be here. So you guys know for a fact that we're having an afternoon segment on the Idaho 4 this afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Set your alarms. Do not miss this live coming up. Again, great day. We got Leilani, we got Billy Joe, and Quentin Simon is able to rest in peace, and his final resting place will not and never will be the landfill. God bless each and every one of you guys that have been supporting this channel, supporting me, supporting the people I work with, and for us to do the jobs that we do. A lot of people don't realize when we go down to these areas, we are not there just to cause a scene. We are there to get a job done. We are there to find out as much information as humanly possible about these cases. These types of cases cost us thousands upon thousands of dollars to do. Okay, and this was no different. I spent a month in Georgia, living out of hotel rooms, living out of boxed meals, gaining freaking 10 freaking pounds, coming back from Chatham County because of all the crap food I had to eat to cover this case, right? So I'm telling you, when we told you guys that this child was beaten, that this child was targeted by his mother, we didn't come to YouTube with these allegations without strong factual findings. People with firsthand knowledge, people that knew what was going on, people that hung around Leilani, that hung around the family, that were around those children. Those were the people that we spoke to that had the most information humanly possible that we needed to know. And thank God they opened up to us. Thank God they told us the information that they knew. Thank God we were able to report that here, because while many people were trying to throw off the narrative that this despicable mother, Leilani Simon, didn't hurt her child, that she just simply just got effed up and let the child drown in a bathtub, which is ludicrous, by the way, because how many times has this child been left alone to bathe itself, left alone to go swimming, and never drowned any other time? But this particular day, it did not seem proper. It did not seem like it made sense to me. Make it make sense, right? So we knew that this child died specifically at the hands of their mother, i.e., she murdered this child. We told our audience that. We came out, we were truthful up front. Everything that we said about this case from the very beginning has turned out to be 100% factual. You can take that to the bank. And you know what? For those haters that wanted to cause all this garbage, all this nonsense, Dolly going to jail, screw every single one of you, because at the end of the day, we did our job. We did our job well, and you shit. You shit on that little boy. You shit on that little boy's name. You shit all over his head. You didn't care about that kid. You cared nothing. All you cared about is your stupid click and view, which is what you try to say about me. But you know what? I went out. I showed up. I put real dollars, real cents behind that. A hell of a lot more money than that family ever did for that child. Ever did. You will never be able to take away the work that we do for these victims. You can dog it. You can hate it. You can throw my name all over Twitter, social media. I don't care. You can put my whole entire life out here like you have done for the last year. It's still not going to stop the work that we do, because these are real victims. And at the end of the day, you are a peon to these children and these other victims that lost their lives while you're playing games. We will not be playing games with these lives. We don't need to be buddy-buddy with criminals, people that harm these children. You know what? I go there with my Bullhorn Betty face, my Bullhorn Betty name, and when I don't like you, you know I don't like you, but you better talk, because if you don't talk, it's going to get 10 times worse for you. I have never gone anywhere without having some kind of conversation with these people, and I never had to be their friend or suck their ass to do it. And we'll never do it. Ever. We got all the content we needed of Billy Joe. We got all the content we needed of Leilani. I didn't have to be a fake person or lie to my audience to do that. But what I did do is I told you exactly what happened to that child. Months before you found out. Months. Now you guys are seeing that what we said this entire time was true. That the information we got was factual. That where we went, what we showed you was accurate. That's what we did. And you know what? At the end of the day, they brought Quentin Simon home. They've got the mother in jail, and they've just arrested the grandma. So today's a good day. God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Good day. See you soon, but good day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.